Welcome to the Audio Alchemist tutorial on dubstep snares. In this tutorial, we are going to show you how artists like Skrillex and Koan are incorporating live snares into their dubstep snares. Then, we are going to take it further and include 3 live snare samples, each consisting of 2 close mics, 2 overheads, and 2 sets of rooms that you can manipulate yourself to make endless samples. At the end, we're going to include all the files to make this loop with your samples. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at in this tutorial is the first track called Snare Building Rack. If we open that up, we're going to see that we've already made a rack here. This consists of a tom, a snare attack, a snare tail, and a snare body. The tom sounds like this. And that's going to solidify our bottom end. Snare attack is the initial transient of the attack of the snare that we want. The snare tail is going to be the end. And the snare body is going to be the meat and potatoes. When put all together, we have a snare that sounds like this. Now, each track except for the tail has a double, and each one of those is running a compressor in parallel compression mode, which you can see right here. Okay, once you've gotten a blend that you like on the snare building rack, you're going to want to open the Dub Snare Print 1 track. Make sure it's in resample mode and drop it into record. Put this track in solo and simply record. And we've printed that snare to this track. Now open Dub Snare Final Stage, double click on it, and you'll find another simpler. Now what we've done is we've just dragged this track right into here, and we've doubled it and made a Dub Snare Final Parallel. We've blended these again and put a limiter at the end of the chain. And what we'll do here is we'll go to this track, Dub Snare Final Print, make sure it's in resampling mode, solo this, drop this one in record, and repeat the process. And there's our final dubstep snare. Alright, next we're going to look at the live snares, which are located here. Live Snare 1, Live Snare 2, and Live Snare 3. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to look at Live Snare 2. Now, you can see here in this instrument rack that we've broken out all the samples already for you. You've got a pair of close mics, which are 57 up and 414 down, a pair of overheads left and right, a pair of close rooms left and right, and a pair of distant rooms left and right. We've gone through the luxury of adding an EQ and compressor and adjusting them to our tastes, as well as blending them in level over here in the instrument rack. Once you've adjusted the levels to get a snare that you like, simply go to Live Snare Print 1, put that in record, put this in solo, make sure it's in resampling, and again, record. Now, just like with the dubstep snare, we're going to open the snare final stage, and as you can see here, we've already made samples for Live Snare 1, 2, and 3, each of them with a double running a parallel compressor. Next, we open Live Snare Final Print. Again, make sure this is in resampling. Make sure that your live snare is in solo, and we're going to drop that into record. And once again, we're going to resample that. Okay. Now, we're going to solo the final print and the live snare print, and we're going to play those in a loop mode together. And we're going to blend them accordingly. Once you find a blend that you like, keep both of these in solo. Make sure that this final track, final mix snare, is in resampling mode. Put that in record. And bounce your final snare down. Once you've printed your final snare, simply copy it, head over to the pre-made loop that we've made you, open the loop group, and go to the bottom, and paste your snare right in. Once you're finished pasting it in, well, that's about it, guys. Make sure you head over to the site. You can download everything you saw here, the session file with all the samples included for free. So all that information is below. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can. All right, thanks, guys.